Welcome to the Mental Health Matchmaker podcast. My name is Jess, and today I'm chatting with Marena, a trained and licensed therapist, about prioritizing rest, dealing with anxiety, especially as a student, and we kick off this episode talking about situationships. Marena also supports individuals with stress management, anger, and trauma. Let's get into our conversation.
So situationships, the word is new, the idea isn't new.
Okay.
Right? I think the word just came out like recently or something, but the process of it isn't new. And it's where people are involved in a relationship without any expectations or commitments. And that's kind of a step away from our traditional relationships where there's expectations, there's commitment, there's communication. So there's that.
What's the point of them, do you think?
Oh my goodness. People get into situationships for a few reasons. Either for validation.
Okay.
Or they're scared to be vulnerable. There's a quote by C.S. Lewis, "To love is to be vulnerable." And a lot of people don't like that. So it's to kind of have their guard up and to avoid that vulnerability. It's also more common in some attachment styles. So there's mainly avoidance because you're avoiding that commitment. So talking about attachment styles is a whole other conversation, but there's that. It's got to have that companionship too. And people also do it because obviously now with like social media and dating apps literally at our fingertips, it's kind of like, oh, this isn't working. Okay, thank you. Next. On to the next.
Yep.
So you're kind of flipping through.
Yep. Crazy. And so I feel like with situationships, like, I don't know, the process is so weird because there's not obviously communication the same way there would be about a formal relationship.
Yeah. Like, because you're in it for the short term, there is no talk about the future. So you're only living about the present.
Right.
So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends where both parties are.
True.
Right? So if one person just wants to stay in the present, not focus on the future, the other person kind of wants something more, it's not going to end well because expectations don't match. Right. Expectations don't match reality.
Right.
Right.
And you never know what the other person's thinking or expecting if you're not talking about it, obviously. And so I feel like the end of situationships are also so weird because maybe you have a formal conversation about it, maybe you don't. I've been in a situationship where we did have a formal conversation about the ending, and it like was heartbreaking. Arguably more than a formal relationship, which I don't really fully understand.
It's because in a formal relationship, because you have that expectation and you have that commitment, you play all your cards. You try everything to make it work.
That's a good point.
Whereas in situationships, the other person feels like they don't owe the other person anything, so they could leave at any time.
Right.
So now you're stuck with the what ifs. Well, what if I did this? What if we tried this instead?
Right.
So it's like, I didn't try this. What if we tried it and then maybe it would have worked? It's that unknown. That kills people.
Oh, that's crazy.
Especially because if one person wants one thing and the other person doesn't want it, it stems a lot from trauma, relationship anxiety, and that's why people don't want to commit because of their past experiences. So that's another thing,
right,
as well.
They don't want to commit, because interesting. And I feel like when you're in the circumstance, you can't really know that about the other person if you're not talking about it.
That's why you set expectations in the beginning. You let them know,
right?
If you're looking for something long term,
right,
or not.
Yes,
right. And if someone's going in, I mean, it is possible to catch feelings in the middle, not gonna lie, because of the euphoric effects of a new romance. Right. So someone might go into a situationship, be like, look, whatever, and then unexpectedly catch feelings.
Okay.
That's normal because of studies have shown of the euphoric effects that new romances bring.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That makes sense. What does breadcrumbing mean in
oh my goodness
situationships?
So basically it's keeping someone on the hook.
Okay.
Right. So you're kind of sporadically engaging with someone, be it through texts, likes, comments, and it's kind
story views on Instagram. Like I
liking
like,
that story without a comment, without sliding into those DMs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it's kind of like you're keeping someone on the hook.
Okay.
Without communicating what you want, right? Like you talk about the future without actually taking steps for it. You talk to them, you message them without actually making plans to meet up. Right?
There's a term for this. This is,
I know.
you can, wait, what? My younger self needed to know this.
Pretty much words, so much actions.
Right. And that's when I feel like it comes in when you need to say to yourself, or your therapist will say to you, you need to trust their actions, not their words. Like if they're showing you. Yeah, go ahead.
But to be fair though, breadcrumbing is a relatively new term in pop culture.
Okay.
And research is kind of just starting into it. So I don't blame your younger self for not knowing this.
Thank you. Great. That makes me feel better. But what advice would you give to someone who is experiencing this and doesn't want it? And doesn't want to just be all loosey-goosey. Maybe we'll hang out, maybe we won't. And they want more for themselves. Set
boundaries with the person and set clear expectations. Right? A lot of people breadcrumb because they get that validation in knowing that someone's there, that they're keeping someone at their fingertips.
Right.
And also to kind of avoid loneliness, to avoid the work that comes with relationships.
What would it sound like to set a boundary in this type of situation? What is like a sentence you could say as an example?
So let's say they're texting you or you're trying to meet up and they keep kind of setting all this. Be like, you know what? Like when you have the time, then you can let me know. Then you message me. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do me.
I love that. Wait, that's so... I don't know if those snaps will come through, but we both just snapped. It was so good. I love that. And that also kind of shifts the dynamic of like, I'm not waiting around for you. And that frees yourself to move on and not, be on the hook for this person.
Because breadcrumbing really brings this level of uncertainty to the person and confusion.
Yeah.
It's a blur because they don't know what's going on. The person will talk about the future, building a future together. And you have all this excitement. And then they're like, oh, it's like, nope.
Yeah. And I think that is part of the sadness when things end, because it's like, well, I had all these ideas in my head of where this would go. Obviously, in a situationship, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of what's happening. What do they think of me? How have you supported clients through the experience of anxiety?
So I think it's important to know anxiety is a normal feeling. It's what protects us. It's what brings us this far. Like we're never going to have a life without anxiety.
Okay.
We need anxiety. It's
fair. Fine.
As much as people don't like that, we can't have zero.
Right.
We need some.
Yeah. To keep us safe. Yeah.
It's what activates your fight or flight or freeze. It's created by Dan Siegel, who was a psychiatrist. And basically, it's this nice middle ground where we're able to kind of work optimally, learn, relate to ourselves and to others. It's this nice middle ground. And then when we get overactivated, we either go hyper aroused or hypo aroused. When we're hyper aroused, that's activated by our fight or flight response. And it's going to be seen through like anger outbursts, agitation, like it's a lot of high energy. And then when we become hypo aroused, so we're below our window of tolerance, that's activated by our freeze response. So we're kind of numb, we're depressed, right? You're kind of like in this low state. So what we kind of want to do is stay in this middle ground. We also want to increase our window of tolerance so we're able to kind of handle more emotions. What determines the size of our window of tolerance is a lot of things, right? So it's our childhood experiences, our biological factors, our social factors, environmental factors. All of that determines how wide it is. And it could change, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
I like to use this analogy of like flowing down a riverbank, right? So like say you're in a canoe, you're flowing down a riverbank, one side's hyper arousal, other side's hypo arousal, right? You're going to start bang in between. Now imagine if the width between each was wider, you have more time to kind of maneuver a little bit. So the more you're leaning to one side, you're like, wait, I'm getting hyper aroused. This is what I need to do to bring myself down. Or wait, I'm getting hypo aroused. This is what I need to do to bring myself down. So that's that analogy.
I like that analogy. And it sounds like the more practice you have recognizing where you're at, how you're feeling, and what you need can help you stay on course without getting to one extreme or the other.
Yeah. You're in this happy medium where you're able to function optimally. And again, it depends on what it is that's causing you anxiety, right? So I know a lot of students, for them, it will be assignments.
Yeah.
Or tests.
Yeah.
Right? So taking that first step is always the hardest part. So speaking of the first step, I like to think of like Newton's laws. I was a physics geek back in the day. And I think like one of his laws were an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon.
Yes.
And so once you take that first step, then you're starting that motion. Right? So do either the quickest task. That way you're starting that momentum and that motivation to keep things going. And then you can kind of like cross things off as you go, and you get that like dopamine hit as you're crossing things off your to-do list. Another thing is that sometimes people don't start because they don't know where to start. So breaking things down into smaller tasks, into something more digestible, more bite-sized. And if you're still not doing it, it's not small enough, break it down again.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really helpful for students for tasks like studying for exams, writing papers, like write a 10-page research paper with like 8 sources.
Oh my gosh.
Throwback.
It's you're bringing it all back to me.
Yeah, right. And it's hard.
It's
and
not
it's something
easy.
that I feel like is really hard to start, and that like decision paralysis can take over, and you're like, I have no idea where to begin. And then I feel worse if I don't start, but then I feel paralyzed.
Yeah. Because you don't know where to begin. And that's what's causing that paralysis. And then you're like, oh my God, I have all this stuff that I need to do. I don't know where to start. And then that's what's causing you anxiety.
Yeah.
And you could be getting hypo aroused, right? Where you're feeling kind of numb and you're like, okay, like, I don't know where to begin. I'm not going to do anything. You could get hyper aroused where you just get agitated and angry, looking at all this and you're like freaking out. So to kind of help with that, then you could, okay, well, this is one thing I need to do. And you just break it down. And I think for students, it's reverse procrastination, because we tend to procrastinate a lot. I know, I've noticed this. So reverse procrastination essentially is like you work backwards. You create a plan, but backwards. So on this day, I need to finish. I want to get this done. So then before that, I need to get this done. And you kind of break it down backwards. So then you know when to start. So technically, you could start 3 days from now instead of today. So you're like, okay, like I can rest for another 3 days before starting. And then you could kind of...
And you call that reverse procrastination?
Yeah.
I love that. Because you're intentionally taking time off if you know that like these are the amount of days I need to finish whatever the project or test or exam or paper is.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
I love these skills that you support students specifically with, because there are things that can become unmanageable when then you have 5 classes, 6 classes, and then it's like, you know, a job too. There's a lot to juggle.
It's a lot to do.
Yeah.
I feel like this applies to everyone, not just students.
That's a good point.
But make time for yourself.
How do you do that?
You got to schedule it in.
Yeah.
I like think of a car, right? If it's running without gas, it's not going to run.
Right.
Right. You making time for yourself is your recharge. You're refilling that car with gas so that you're able to kind of start that journey again, to kind of keep going. Right.
It's a good point.
If you don't do that, you're going to crash.
Yeah.
You're going to crash.
And then not be able to do anything.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
And it, like getting that rest will do more, is more beneficial.
Okay, maybe I'll pose this in more of my personal experience. Sometimes I find when I'm resting, I'm not fully resting because I'm thinking about that thing that I could be doing.
Then you're not resting.
Yeah.
You're not resting.
So how do you rest? Which sounds like such a silly, simple question, and it's personal, obviously, but how are ways that you find are effective for clients or even in your own life to fully rest and disconnect and like intentionally be like, okay, this is my time to recharge?
Compartmentalize. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. This is my focus. So compartmentalize everything that you're doing. Take this as this is my me time. It's an investment if you think about it.
Yeah.
Right? If I do this now, it'll help me in all the other tasks that I'm thinking about. So.
I love the word me time. I feel like I spent so much time by myself as a kid and I loved it so much. And now I'm like, no, I'm having me time.
Believe me. This is so I could better be there for you.
Yes.
And for my life and for everyone else around me. So if you give me my me time, right, then I can better be there. Be there better for you. Wow.
Yeah, no, I got what you were saying. I feel the same way. Something that I've even been struggling with lately and just recently made a decision about is when I'm trying to juggle so many things and I had to acknowledge I can't do everything and had to drop something from my plate.
And that's not bad.
Oh, I like that.
Right? You're recognizing your limits. You're recognizing
uncomfortable at first.
That's where the change comes in.
Yes.
Being okay with being uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. I'm not, because again, you're going into, you're doing something that you're not used to, a habit that you're not used to. So this feels so weird, right? But the more you do it, then it becomes your new normal.
Yeah.
And then you've reached the other side. Like, okay, like I've reached where I wanted to be. I got through this feeling of being uncomfortable, but it's now become my normal.
I'm curious, this is sort of in line with being uncomfortable, if there are specific pieces of advice or just a piece of advice you would give to someone who's thinking about seeking therapy for the first time. And it's obviously scary and uncomfortable if you've never done it.
A lot of studies have shown that the alliance is super important for success in therapy, right? Like if you think about getting a personal trainer and going to the gym, if your trainer knows everything about you, you're more likely to reach your goals because they're tailoring it towards you. Yeah. Right. So it's the same thing with therapy, right? You want to make sure that you find a therapist that you feel safe with, that you feel comfortable with to talk about. And obviously it takes time to kind of build that rapport. But a lot of studies have shown that the alliance is the number one predictor for therapy, for therapy success.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share, or you would like someone listening who's thinking about booking a session with you that they should know?
Visit bptherapy.ca.
And you do in-person sessions in the Markham office where we are right now. It's
a
beautiful office. We were talking about how much we love it.
Yeah. Come and check it out.
Yeah, come see the windows. The view is lovely. And you also do virtual sessions.
Correct.
And we'll have all your information in the show notes.
Yes. Sounds good.
Thank you for taking the time to do Marena.
Thank you for having me.